Welcome back to the Foxy Property Chat podcast, week 2. We're making it happen, guys.
School holiday edition.
Yep, special school holiday.
I suppose last year was as well, but last week. But
yep.
This one especially, lots of kids.
Got 4 here today.
Yeah.
They're being bribed.
I'm saying that up front in case there's noise that comes.
No, it's right. If Jake has to jump out for a second, that's okay. So this week, guys, we're doing similar format. We've got a main topic. Today we're talking about getting ready for spring. We're in July now, so still in winter, but spring is coming very quick, and spring is apparently the busier season for real estate.
It is, absolutely. Everything is all more shiny in spring.
We have questions and answers. Well, we have questions. We'll see if we've got answers. And then we have a quick round of under, overrated, and a little special segment in here. So let's kick things off with a question. It was from Rick. I believe he's in Newcastle. He has a staging company down there. What does getting ready for the busy season look like for stages? Should I start investing more on stock now? I know all businesses are different, but would love to get your thoughts. Take it away.
Well, if you looked in our warehouse right now, I literally 2 minutes ago from running up the stairs to sit here, we were getting stuff off a delivery truck. We've had 2 deliveries this morning. No, 3 deliveries already today. So for us, it's not just because of spring, it's also tax time, and it makes sense for us to invest before the end of the financial year, but given that we're leading into spring and we've been busy, for us, part of getting ready is getting enough stock ready to go.
I think as we've grown, we've had the ability to be able to do that. When we were smaller, we definitely weren't using it as a tax write-off. So at the start, it was honestly just do it as I had a job lock-in and then use those funds to reinvest into the next property. There was no real preparation for spring in the first couple of years until Jake sort of started to show the numbers more, and we started to get more serious in that side of the business and realised that, well, we had to make...
I've always been pretty serious.
You have been pretty, share the numbers with me. So that's where we've sort of grown into now being able to use it as a tax write-off. Very inconveniently timed for all of these trade fairs that are popping up. So every year in July, you have trade fairs that come on down in Melbourne, and they're awesome and amazing, except I've already spent all our money.
Yeah, true. Yeah. Maybe they should shift forward a month or 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how, because there's a lot of stuff down there for retail stores. I obviously don't know how they operate as well, but it's very inconveniently timed for us because bulk of our stuff's spending. That being said, I did a Mattress Link order this morning. So
I saw it.
They put their new release online. I had to get onto it before they sold out this weekend at the trade fair.
But the other part to that is the team, and again,
words out of my mouth, Jake.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, I know we're in sync. I guess it's again similar to what you're saying about the stock purchasing and how the more years we've been in business, the more we can be deliberate about buying at this time of the year. Yeah. Same for team. Like when you don't have necessarily the funds coming in to hire people before you need them, this is more difficult to do. But for us, it's about making sure right now, if we know we're going to need people in the next few months, let's hire them now, get them trained so that when we hit spring, they're ready to go and are able to actually pull their weight a bit more than just be a second set of hands.
Yep.
So furniture, stock, team. What about things like organising, just having the warehouse ready for, getting your systems in place?
You get the organised warehouse going, Jake.
Yeah, it does not look organised at the moment. There's stuff everywhere. I guess that all comes with, just experience. Like we've learned what works for us in terms of processes and organising the warehouse. We just over time figure out how to, where to put certain furniture, how to, store stuff so it works efficiently when we're getting it on and off a truck. I don't know, that all just kind of comes, I guess, without thinking too much about it, I would have thought. But
I think the other 2 things that we would do, so as far as marketing would go, we don't really change our focus too much in the lead up to spring. The work sort of still comes to us organically in spring. This year a little bit different though. This kind of goes hand in hand with team as well as the business as well as all the stock and the marketing. We've announced our Foxy Vacay to our team again. So we want to have a really huge spring, and the team have to really put in for us to have a huge spring, and we're going to reward them, but we needed to dangle something at the very end for them to have something that's awesome to work towards.
If you're going to mention the vacay, you better quickly tell people what that is.
Sure. Did we? I don't know if we shared that last year, but basically, I got this idea I do this coaching group that I do every month, and they're fantastic as far as all the other business owners share ideas. One of the ideas that they shared was they basically dangled, as a reward to a real estate agent, if they got this many listings and they hit this much of basically their commission, then they would they would reward, the principal of the agency would reward them with a trip away. Everybody can buy that for themselves at any point in time, but you're very unlikely to do that, especially this one was for Qualia, up very expensive resort up in Port Douglas. So you're very unlikely to splurge on that yourself. So she did it. So that's what I sort of took that idea, and Jake and I moulded it to work for our team. So last year we took everybody up to Peppers, up to Noosa for 3 nights. I can't even remember what our numbers were last year. We smashed them. Yep. This year we've set them really high, 600 installs in 6 months, and that is really going to push the team as far as everybody in the team, the marketing, the boys, the stylists, making sure that our follow-ups there, Elise booking everything in, the girls getting all the invoicing, everything out. It's going to push everybody.
The short version is we've got a big incentive and a big target if we do it.
To keep that positive attitude, enthusiasm, great team culture going throughout the busy period.
So that's what we're doing. He sort of asked, should I start investing more in stock now? It's probably a hard question for you guys to answer though, right?
That, to me, it's not a simple answer, but if I was to kind of do the it depends answer, it really comes down to what cash you have available and knowing your own business in terms of what spring is likely to look like for you. And of course you can never know that, but if you are already low on stock and you're about to hit spring, I would have thought if you've got the cash available, it's a good way to think about it.
And Rick has been interacting with our Instagram, social media for a long time, and it does seem like he's trying to grow his business to be something that is large. He doesn't want to just limit it. So get a grasp of those numbers, and if you're trying to aim high, go big.
Yeah. Okay, before we get into the Q&A, I got a little fun segment for you guys again. I got a question for you. What percentage of homes in Australia are sitting unoccupied?
Oh, that has to be super low. Like rental things are through the roof at the moment.
This was at census night in 2021, so it is a year old, the data, but... Well, that changes everything.
That does. How am I supposed to have accurate data?
What percentage? Okay.
Yeah, unoccupied. Right.
12.
Oh, no, it's not. I reckon it'll be lower than that.
What's that equal?
What is that? Are you trying to calculate how many houses there are?
Yeah, I was going to go off the population.
I'm going to go with 4.5.
10.1%.
Boom.
Oh, okay. Now you went over. That rules you out.
So it is down slightly from 11.15% in 2016.
So you said last year, right? My number was for right now.
I want to know what it is now, because
Yeah,
that had to be super low, surely.
Just a couple of little points here. Regional areas have a higher share of homes that are unoccupied.
Yeah.
The article that I read thought that it may be due to people owning second homes or holiday homes in regional areas. And regional, I think, just classified as outside major cities, so coastal towns probably. Across the capital cities, Canberra at 6.6% and Brisbane at 6.8% had the lowest unoccupied. So Brisbane's pretty, not many.
I know they're still struggling now for rentals and all that sort of stuff. So
people in our team who've been looking for rentals and struggling, that makes sense.
Q&A segment, stage 2 Inspire? Staged?
Stage 2 Inspire?
I think it says Sprice, but I obviously mistyped that. Inspire, sorry about that. You've grown tremendously. What marketing tactic exploded your business in the beginning?
Cody.
Or
Cody,
what was the most beneficial to help your business grow?
I was bringing on a full, backing ourselves at the very, very start. Like one of our very first full-time hires was bringing on a marketing,
I think it was a
full-time marketing role.
After we got the 1 or 2 stylists and we had enough for 1 truck.
Yep. So that was a huge decision because you're not a instant moneymaker, and it's a long-term, massive, and
because it's not sales. That's probably something that when we talk about advertising or marketing or like for us, it's all about branding, which is a long-term play.
Yeah, so that would be the biggest tactic I don't
think that's a tactic necessarily either. Like
strategy.
The way that question's asked, it's a tricky answer for us because really we take, and we've mentioned his name plenty of times, Gary Vaynerchuk, and the volume kind of content in terms of marketing, like putting out a lot of helpful marketing or what we hope is helpful in different places and in different formats, and hopefully that gets people looking at us, which it has over time, but that's kind of the overall philosophy. In terms of specific tactics, it's a difficult one. Like right from the start, Cody has done the Foxy TV, YouTube and Facebook, and we've kind of used that for little snippets here and there. That's probably been the most consistent.
So we get people, just to expand on that, now agents are reaching out to us because they can see who we are as a brand and they love for us to be a reflection of their brand and they want to work with us. So the Foxy TV works really, really well for us to help get our name out by letting everybody know who we are.
I don't know if you'd call this a tactic, but it's probably more our approach to marketing right from the start, we wanted to be different in the sense that every other stage that we looked at was very polished, and it was not so much in front of the camera. It was always finalised, the pictures of the staged homes and showing the end result only.
Yep.
And we, right from the start, said we want to show the behind the scenes and show who we are as people and as a team. And that is one of the bits of probably constant feedback that you hear when new agents reach out to us. It's that they like who we are as a team. They like our vibe. They feel like they know
Real.
us.
They think we're real. And
then we get the feedback, like some of this, like B and I think Russ recently on their weekends had people come up to them and say, I know you from...
Be at a baby shower. So getting them recognised. And because you're never going to get... like the polished images, they're absolutely beautiful, and you do need to have a mix of those polished images. But when we're on site, we're talking to real people. We're talking to a husband and wife who are trying to sell their property. If I lead in with picture perfect polished images when I'm talking to the husband and he's already not on board, I'm not going to get him across the line with the styling, because it's just not about that magazine editorial. It's not about
and it's not
that.
Who we are as well.
You're not going to get me with makeup on at any point in time ever, so you're never going to see me on that camera. You get fuzzy hair. So be real.
Another thing they sort of said, what exploded your business, I wouldn't call it an explosion either. Like, certainly we've grown fast in 5 years, but it has been, I think, organic and steady, I reckon. Like, it has been quick, but it has been steady as well. It's not like overnight or within a week we were able to capture all these new clients.
It is one of those things, though, you look back and if I tell you the numbers, you go, wow, that is quite, like, we've doubled in the last 12 months. Whereas although we felt busier, and if you look around at the people around here, the team's grown.
We've doubled the team size.
Exactly. Like, the business is growing quite quickly, and it probably doesn't feel like that until you look back. But like you said, it has been kind of constant throughout. It's not like you can say we exploded in 2021 towards the end of the year. We had this explosion of new agents. Like, there hasn't really been maybe there has and we forget it. I don't remember there being a point like that.
No, I don't think so. And you guys continue to invest. We've got Laura now, who's been with us for a few months, and we just hired Sean, who's, I mean, how many businesses in Brisbane, let alone the staging companies, hire someone to predominantly create TikTok videos? Like, that's what we've done. And that's...
which might not end up having a big impact on the business. Like,
who knows,
And then we would, shift it, or we try something different. For us, it's about trying and really putting our money where our mouth is when it comes to marketing and really giving it a good effort.
Okay, so how are you guys feeling about the current market? What are your discussions with agents, sellers and other home stagers like at the moment?
That's a Phoebe question.
This is actually, not surprisingly, a very dominant conversation happening every time I'm talking to a real estate agent at the moment. We're definitely seeing a softening in the market. I was talking to an agent last night. She was mentioning that she doesn't feel that the prestige market's going to be as affected by this. There's always a lot of cash out and around, and the prestige market's gone very, very well over the last year or so in Brisbane. We still see the unit market really pumping out. Every single unit we're styling is basically selling first or second weekend. There was only one that I can recall in the past year that has needed that little extra time, one extra week on our 8-week hire time. Every other unit sold very quickly. Houses is where we're starting to see the hire time for styling really lengthen out. I'm also seeing that they're taking that little bit longer to come to market. So we're not doing a consult and then getting it installed within a week. We're doing a consult and they're getting prepared and getting everything, all their ducks lined up to get it come to market in a couple of months. So there was a point in time where they're holding out for the election, and they held out to see what happened to interest rates. And then we got busy, and now interest rate rises again yesterday. That's not going to go away. That's going to stay here. So for a styling business, though, for us, that what happens is the reason to style shifts. So you're no longer you're not styling just to be like everybody else in the market. You're now styling. You're going to now style to stand out from everybody else in the market. Before, when every property was getting listed, and not every property was getting styled because it was being sold too fast. There were too many agents out there that had sort of just popped up overnight, and they didn't really approach styling with the right way. They would basically look, the market's going to carry this, the market will get it sold. So those ones weren't getting styled. I don't think we'll see that happening now. It'll be, we have a child coming up the stairs, just forewarning. So I don't think that we'll see that happening as much anymore. I think we're going to see we will stay at the same sort of busy level, but the reason to shift will to style will shift.
Sure. Do you have set prices, or do price Is it depending on like the number of rooms or furniture pieces? How do you go about pricing your services?
We do have packages. This is another me question. Peeling an apple.
Yep, you keep going. I'm just dealing with
So we do have prices. You've got our unit townhouse packages, so a 1, 2 and a 3 bedroom unit package. They are, I may as well just tell you, so 2,300, 2,005, no, actually 2,4, 2,6 and 2,8 are those packages. Basically, though, you come to me and you ask me for a property and it's vacant, I can tell you the price off the top of my head. They all say the same. So I know that a living room sits around $900 to hire. A bedroom sits around $450. So they can piece together really well. Occupied property, that's a different kettle of fish. That needs to be done properly. So.
Yep. This question comes from my wife, Talia, actually. Why are kids' beds in the photos and staging?
You're getting preferential treatment here, by the way.
Well, always against the wall-in styling. Why don't you ever send to them?
It's actually, I think it's just the photos Talia's looking at. So the ones that we've put up on Instagram most of the time, they're pushed up against the wall because we also have a small desk or a nook that's in that room. So if you put a desk or like a console table, little buffet in a room with a bed that's centered, the floor space is gone. I would have thought that in most homes, Alice's room is different to this.
That's why she asked.
But yeah. So, but Alice, so our daughter Alice, her bedroom's actually one of the only styled rooms we have in the house. Her bed is floating in the middle, and she does have a chest of drawers, but that's because they have a playroom off their space. So I don't necessarily want them to have all that play stuff in their bedrooms. It drives me nuts. So I want it to stay in the playroom. But before we had that, when it was just Sam's room, the bed was always tucked up against the wall because he needed that room on the floor to play. So that's honestly...
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Last question here. What is one common myth about your profession that you want to debunk? That's actually my question. I saw it listed on
Jake, I've done so much speaking. You can do this
well,
now.
I guess, are you talking from somebody looking into the industry? Or
Yes.
Okay. I don't know if this is if the phrasing works for this, but I would say one thing is people looking in it's something that they don't understand as, I guess, more than it's a myth, and that's so much of our business is logistics. So operationally, people looking from the outside probably think it's a lot of, the fluffing cushions. Like that's probably a bit derogatory sort of way, but people. Well, I've kind of taken the opposite approach. But people looking from the outside probably think that a lot of the time, or more time, is spent on the actual
shopping, fluffing
designing,
cushions,
selecting stuff, and actually doing the install itself. Which there is a lot of time there, but a business like this, especially one that has its own warehouse and trucks and all those sorts of things, it really is about the logistics. We spend so much, especially as the business owners, we spend so much of our time.
You've done a podcast or something on that where it was the business behind the business. So the business behind our business is a logistics company. On the front, we're a styling company, but to be powered and to achieve everything that we do, we are a logistics company and we love it.
Yep. I feel like that's one of our strengths because we like that side of things. That's why we've had success.
I love fluffing cushions too.
I don't know, that wasn't a very good answer, but it...
No, makes sense. Okay, under and overrated segment. We've got 5 themes again, or things.
Okay.
First one, under or overrated, foldable bed frames.
Oh, underrated.
Underrated.
We were so slow to come to that party. We should have been onto that way earlier.
Years trying to get bed bases, ensemble bases upstairs in townhouses. What a nightmare.
I ordered one to see if it would be good or... Oh, what an idiot. Should have jumped on that one way earlier.
Study nooks.
If you ask realestate.com, they're underrated because they're the number 1 search term, which is why we incorporate them. Functionally, overrated.
Okay.
I don't think I care enough to have an opinion on that.
You'd want to study. If you didn't have a space, you'd want to study nook. You'd have to.
That's true.
Yeah.
I like
You can't operate without a monitor.
FaceTime.
Overrated.
I don't really use it that often. Yeah, overrated. It was good while recently you and I, Cody, were overseas, being able to talk to people that way through Wi-Fi, but probably I don't use it otherwise.
I've got onto this thing called WhatsApp. It's really good, actually. Anyway, that makes
also
sense.
owned by Facebook.
Welcome to the party.
Or Meta. Food delivery services.
Underrated. We
Underrated. We use
don't
it a
pick
lot.
up takeaway anymore. We're so lazy.
Last one, coffee table books.
Well, overrated, but I understand.
The pricing is overrated, but they're a necessity, so they're underrated. But I won't pay that. I won't pay $100 for a coffee table book. That's absurd.
How about they're underrated as a staging accessory, but from personal use, overrated?
Yeah.
Great. Well, that is the podcast, week 2. Well done, guys. Thanks for playing along.
Thank you.
Next week, we might actually be, I'll probably be off having a baby, so
Oh, yes.
I will see if you guys want to do it yourselves.
Do you need me to run the show?
Yeah, I mean, it's not exactly hard.
All right, we'll just replace you then.
So we'll see. We may be skipping next week. We'll see. Laura in the background, she might have to step up and we'll see how
We got this. We got it.
There you go.
Like, what did you say?
Yeah. So thanks for tuning in, guys. Thanks for watching on YouTube, and thanks for listening on the podcast. And we'll catch you in the next episode.
Awesome.
See ya.
See you, bye.